Hey guys, this is a kind of a chill video, if you know what I mean. So this is my opinion on things. If you guys get triggered by this, I'm sorry. Um, I'm just saying that this is about creativity, in my opinion. This is a way to express your mind, your personality. This is of course true, but still. Thing is, when it comes to Fortnite specifically, I know you already seen one of my maps, and then you see an upcoming map, stories that I made. It might seem awkward, it might seem cringy, but in my opinion, I put hard work onto those. But earlier today, me and a friend of mine were having an argument about how it is awkward that, or it was about creativity in Fortnite. You see, back in the day, Fortnite, when they first released it, they showed trailers of builds that they expected people to make. Some have in the early days, but now you always see just two builds from opposite sides merging into each other, making a DNA spiral towards the sky, and that's just, of course, people are like, ugh, Fortnite's so bad. It's because it's not the great anymore because there's too many sweats around. I agree with that. I'm not Fortnite sweat, as you guys know. I am just a casual player wanting to have some fun, having to get some wins, kills, having fun with friends, get some dubs. I mean, creativity. Ever since creative came out, you just always wanted to make stuff. Nowadays, people in Fortnite would just be like there to practice 90s, make an edit course, doing edit courses, 1v1 maps, just like trying to see how good they are, you know, against their friends, some random people that are talking trash, all that jazz. Um, However, my friend, he doesn't see creativity in this Dane map. Um, or this game, I meant. He sees literal competitivity. He doesn't see creativity in all. There are people out there that waste their time in the world to make maps that are not for competitive at all. It intrigues me that people would use their minds to make scary maps, adventure maps, romantic maps, especially for content creators that are very cool and they admire them and they're just like, you know what? I'm gonna make this for my content creator, you know? I made this for Sunday, made this for Ninja, Courage, Dr. Lupo, all of them. Way I do it is what I do is I try my best from what I learned from the tech in this game, in creative specifically, and that I try my best to make possible things. And I haven't really paying much attention to story maps, so that's what I recently been doing. I saw the Tomato Strikes Back, and The Burger Returns. You guys, if you haven't seen those, go check them out, please. Um, those are story mode maps that I recently made before I started posting about them. I show my friends, they like them, and they're just basically story mode maps or go around. You're just the main guy, you're reading signs, and you're reading from the story. You're reading the story. I get it that some people out there don't like those kind of things. They're like, I just want to crank 90s. I just want to get in some pubs, kick some butt. I see that. I know people want to do that. In my opinion, it's just for those people that don't want to do that. They're like, you see out there that there's a lot of Fortnite sweats, which is, I will be honest, like 75% of the Fortnite community. It's in my opinion. I might be way off, but and people are probably not that great with creativity. They'd rather watch tutorials or something like that. I understand. I'm not gonna lie. I have saw tutorials to make some stuff, but through Minecraft and Fortnite, I learned to express my imagination. I learned how to make stuff, you know. I made, heck, I made a bunch of stuff on Minecraft, or add, mainly small things, like I added those minecarts, I dug thousands of meters down just to make this one place. When it comes to Fortnite, it's just, me and my friend, he didn't see it that way, and he thought no one liked to create in this game. They're rather creative warriors than creative builders, like myself, which is true. Most people would rather be a creative warrior than a creative builder. However, I just want to say, if people out there like to create, they like to not make, I like to make maps. Sometimes I make them just the first people. Like, in my personal development, I like to make a lightsaber versus map. However, the recent maps I've been making besides that are story mode maps, and I like those. Those are very intriguing. They give you a story, give you stuff to do besides you having to read or watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can be based in your favorite game. Heck, there could be stories about the Marvel. They could be stories about your favorite YouTuber. Just stories about, you know, stories about an android that doesn't know who he is, or stuff like that. And my opinion is that I will like those things. I like those story mode things. And, of course, some do require some puzzles. I try not to go for the hardcore puzzle solving, because there are people out there that could easily get confused, or people that wouldn't solve, and then people would just be like, I'm leaving, I'm not doing this, and it takes them like hours to figure out. I try not to go, I like to be a nice guy. I'm not trying to be like a hardcore puzzle solver, because heck, I am not one of those kind of people. However, what I'm saying is that if you guys out there like to create and you like to make maps for people, of course I can't publish these maps publicly because, you know, I don't have 1,000 followers on any of my social media, so I can't have a support creator. But the thing is, it is nice to have, it's nice to express your personality for things that you would the things that you like to do, like express how you make things, express how much you can create. Like, Khalil's just surprised at how much I can make within this amount of time. And then about him, he thinks it'll take him a while, because ever since I made my trivia, he tried to make one for himself, but I made mine in like, well, I didn't make the whole thing. Ever since the video, I upgraded a lot much, but just for that one section that I showed on my channel, that took me like, I don't know, I won't say an hour. Khalil's been in there for like 30 minutes. I don't know, but and he even said himself that he's not the best with creative. He's not a creative builder, and I understand that. It can be hard because you don't do it a lot. You're not used to the mechanics, the tools, all of that jazz.
Better eat that steak while it's hot, dude.
What I'm saying is, it can be hard, but as you learn through it, it can help. Heck, me and my friend earlier were trying to make a map together, or I wanted us to, but he didn't agree with it, and heck, he and I freaking made Siren Head, bro. Siren Head. A scuffed way of looking at it, but he didn't know what the tools were, but he saw speakers and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make Siren Head. And I saw him making it. I didn't know what he was doing at first, but then just him judging from the builds, or just judging him for how he's making it, I could tell that it's Siren Head. I'm like, you're making Siren Head or something? He's like, how'd you know? I'm like, oh, I'm surprised, I didn't know. And he told me he had the speakers, which is a new thing in the game. And I never used them myself. I never did it. Maybe I'll use them in the future, but I have no idea. Um, it's just that creativity can be hard for some people, but I'm just saying, and what I'm saying in this game, it doesn't have to be completely competitive. People say Fortnite isn't fun anymore, but it can be nice to have fun and creative, like not just with the cranky 90s 1v1ing, because eventually one person gets beat up too much and he will rage and then just leave, or just die in stupid ways. That's me in times, but still, it is difficult to get through with certain things. All I'm saying is that you can express your mind however you want. It doesn't have to be the best, you know. I'm sure my themes aren't the best either. Like, there's most things in my stories that aren't as best as others. Like, horror maps have things that I don't have, or probably have used things that I never used. Of course, um, people out there have made a lot more stuff. They put a lot more time into it. I made just this with like maybe an hour or two, or an hour and a half. But one of my recent maps had taken a long time. A long time. Took me probably 4 hours just to make it. And me just pasting this one song onto a map took me a long time, man. Probably 8 hours. Actually, I have no idea. But it just took so long. I had to look at how music tiles are placed and all that. And I'm just like, how did I mess this up? And most times can make you brain dead. Like, you could be on there for hours making whatever you want, and you could just be brain dead. That's me while doing homework here in quarantine. Still though, you don't have to put too much pressure into making certain things. However, you can make whatever you want with what you got. You can use what you learned into making what you can make. Whatever you want, you could do your best to make it. Like for Siren Head, me and my friend earlier today, we used he used buildings, like building walls made out of wood. And I was thinking maybe if I put more time and research, I could find ways in the creative prefabs and galleries to actually make Siren Head. Like I can find black poles or black tiles or something like that, pieces, black rocks, or something to make the Siren Head body itself. Like just find skinny rock, and I can use the resize feature to make it a skinny, tall, broad, fat, square, or square, I don't know, but still, it can be difficult in many ways, but creativity, it could go in many ways. It could go whatever it can. I understand if all you out there are not creative builders, or you think you have a limited imagination, but hey, things will come. Things will come into mind. And hey, when me and Khalil are on Minecraft World, he's at one point he's like, after we done so much, he's like, I'm done, bro. I'm done. And I want to say like a couple months later, he came back, and he's like, you know what? Let's make a city. But I will be honest, we didn't do the buildings ourselves. We did them out from tutorials because Khalil, he said he's not a creative builder. I'm not dissing on him or anything, but I see how. But I will be honest, there are builds out there where you think you can just turn out so great, but eventually you're like, I've done so much already, I'm just gonna go with this, and then it looks completely terrible. I will admit, it do be like that. However, I just want to say that you can express it however you like, and Fortnite creative doesn't have to be just building 90s zone wars, box fights, and all that crap. I'm not a fan of Fortnite anymore, as I used to love it for God knows how long. I loved it for as long as it took me, and now it ended. It ended on my behalf. And now I'm getting into Apex, and I'm actually having a lot more wins in it daily than I would in Fortnite, honestly. It's because of the sweats, you know what I'm saying? The building mechanic. However, as I was saying, I'm sorry if this rant has been like, why am I listening to this? Why is this guy talking about it? I'm just saying, this is my opinion. You guys don't have to be all offended about it. Like, oh, he's going to stupid. No, I'm not. I'm saying that we can be whoever we want to be. We could be a creative person. We could be an athlete. And I just want to express my opinion about this, and because it's really been on my mind, and I just really been off. I know most of my friends out there are probably not the best, or maybe they are, but I just don't know it yet. I made stuff from friends that they're like, ooh, that's cool, because hey, they're not the best inventions, but they can be when they are. So I just want to say that everyone's imaginations can be limited, but it can be whatever they want it to be. And I just want to say, yeah, anyone's imagination can be expressed in very different ways. Horror, fantasy, romance, anything. Anyway, I just hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, turn on the notice, and be sure to express your creativity how you like. Maybe go on Minecraft or Fortnite and get used to the mechanics, express how you like, and see you guys later.